No, I'm talking about
It's like a research team that's basically researching.
This is basically pre-meeting. Everybody's kind of collaborating, talking, getting ready.
I can facilitate if there's a way to have it donated or rented, like I could spend my time. No charge to myself.
What you got there, Rob? What you got? Some Occu news? Oh yeah, that's too small for me to read. So for those of you tuning in, we're just trying to pre-meeting, getting ready for the web team meeting and decisions on what's going to go on the website.
Yeah, I mean,
So what's going on the website?
took all the energy again.
Just trying to get it, where everybody's happy with it and it's working properly. You know?
Be better. Unfortunately, it's the game I have to play. Is there an immediate? I mean, because I really would like to apologize and then move on to an outreach because I want to tell them about the 15 options that we're trying to set up.
Who wasted alcohol? Am I hallucinating?
No, I smell it. I think it's sewers or something.
Okay.
I'm not sure, but
So I was on the email. I got that email and am I?
Yeah. Well,
Please.
Oh my god. In my opinion, I don't think that an apology is probably gonna really do it. That's just me. I don't think so. I don't think so. If you want to have a time for a mediator, that probably can't happen right now.
Well, quite frankly, the way I feel is that I overstep my bounds.
You called someone a bitch and a cunt.
I overstepped my bounds, and I realized that.
That's not overstepping. Yes. Of boundaries. Like that's like abuse. That's misogynistic abuse. Like, and maybe you don't understand because you're not a female, so you don't know what it feels like to be called a bitch and a cunt like your whole life. But
and you don't know some of the things I had.
For sure.
What I saw is an abuse of power, and I saw something that I really morally disagree.
Okay.
And these are the injustices I came to fight at Occupy, and I saw them being perpetuated at Occupy. And my apology is because I took it personally, and I really should have separated myself because the injustices that I see and the reason I'm here, I don't want to see them removed. And when I saw those, it made me emotionally attached, and I want to apologize for taking it personally because I shouldn't personalize this, and I know that that's a failing of myself. I have a very hard time dealing with passive-aggressive energy, so when someone pokes me enough time, I'm not used to taking it that way. And I realized that I made a mistake by making it personal when I got hooked a lot of times. And I know we all want the same thing. I know we're all supposed to work for the same thing. And I want us to. But there's very good concern within our community of being cool. And I'm more conservative than most people, or a lot of people in San Francisco. So when certain things go out that are deal breakers for me, I want to express my feelings. And when I express them and they're just blocked and they're denied and they're belittled the way they have been, I have a really hard time with it.
Here, I'll step over with you. Thanks, guys.
I mean, I do realize that
circle.
To a certain degree.
Yeah, that's what it is now. It's
The
a
way
smoking
I see
circle.
the situation is this was a trap play. I have a certain personality type. Other people have certain personality types. With certain types of people, there are conflicts. And if I believe that somebody is using something that I actually have a hard time getting attached to, and I've got attached to it, I spend a lot of my time doing things I don't want to do in order to move this forward.
I don't want to be taped, so if I'm in there, I don't want to be taped.
And I think somebody who knows that put something there in order to bring this out. I tried to settle this before. I went to the web meeting. 3 other people brought up the disagreement about this kind of symbolism. And it's not about that movement, it's about no movement should control it. When I went there, and the only response and the rebuff of everybody who had concerns came back and said go to GA, I didn't want to do it, and I actually tried to express it. I had a really heavy heart trying to bring this nonsense to them. When I brought it to there, I knew this was going to be ugly. I knew it was going to be ugly, and I didn't want to do it. And I was told by the person to bring it there, and that's the only way I can stop an action which, to a certain degree, historically has been used against them. I mean, they're the 3 G's of the religious right: gays, guns, God. I mean, and if you've been following politics for long enough, you'd understand. I mean, you would see that is a ploy used by the right, used by the 1% in order to divide the 99%. Because some of these issues have actually a lot of long-term moral underground foundations. And we would lose a lot of people if we said that we believed in something that most of the 99% don't. And if you looked at Prop 8,
It's starting.
So what is it? What is it? What is advertised?
But it's mostly
Let me see this. What do you got?
I already showed it to you.
Yeah, no, I just.
We need the infrared lights.
Yeah, I think we can turn the light on. Maybe. There we go.
That ain't infrared.
That's too bright. Way too bright.
I'll see her. Yeah, I'll see her on schedule this time of year.
Let's get started. We're having a web team meeting here. Is everyone okay with live stream?
Hi.
Okay, just make sure that you don't say anything that we don't want people to know because it's a web meeting and
If there's something you want me to step away for, let me know.
yeah, you changed the password to
We talked about
so that's okay with everybody. Yes. Unless somebody else wants to volunteer. Facilitate. Okay. Rob, did you just volunteer?
No. But my coat.
Okay, let's just go through a quick come up with an agenda. So I think one of the things we need to talk about today is WordPress update. We should schedule an upgrade on the website server. We should talk about J20 support and if we have any holes in that. We could probably need to talk a little bit about usability survey on the website that Sarah Page said she was going to come to the meeting for. So she was volunteered to do that. And then the user caching bug that you reported. So is there anything else to go on to the agenda?
Yeah.
Forums?
Forums I'm gonna have to deal with. So I talked to Heather earlier a little bit, and I gave her the email address of someone I talked to from camp who has some software experience. Okay. So hopefully the 2 of them can sort it out. She's gonna start with giving him advocacy for the keynote, and we're gonna take it from there.
Did you have anything?
Yeah, I'm gonna the menu and like switching around making like the front homepage has a static portion. So design.
So the
Can't
way
hear you.
design has worked in the past is usually there's been a design team, like the web group is split up into skeleton, design, and media people. So what usually happens is that they do a mock-up in Photoshop of the design, different items, and then you go and you have to just be willing to maybe work together with people. We haven't had any single person do the design. It's usually been a team effort. But if you want, we can make, sure that contact other people, and you have to be willing to provide that deliverable though.
Right, so I already have it. So I mean I typed up the
mock-up.
So I typed up what should be on the front. But it's not a mock-up, but I know exactly, like I can explain what the thing is, but the front page this would be the copy for it. For the front page, the static portion, and then I wrote where like the links should be. And then we also need, like, related to that, there is so there's the welcoming committee has that reach out to potential volunteers, and we wanted that sign up, the link to be near the sign up, not in our welcoming committee thing, but on the very front page.
Okay, send us the link.
So I have a point of process. We're just setting the agenda.
Right.
And I want to make sure that we have time to talk to the committee.
Sure. So the thing is,
about redesign.
right. So the redesign stuff, you said that's not for this meeting. So is there people that?
Well, we could put it at the end of the agenda. I think that there are things that don't.
Do you want to give this to us?
Well, I want to discuss. I want to discuss the design stuff. So is.
I don't think 15 minutes is enough, and I don't think we have the right stakeholders, because I think that.
It would be good if we had some people that were going to be working on the design process that could tell us how to move forward on it.
So who are the people? Is that one guy, one of them, what was his name?
I think that we're still setting the agenda for this meeting. I don't know.
Okay, so
Design we can talk about.
we can talk about.
We're worried about the bugs and the update.
I think that for any of the requests, like a tab, if you want people to add
Thanks.
for the redesign of the front page, we don't have that scheduled to go and do a redesign. I think that what would be good is if we wanted to other people on the design side. We have subcommittees,
Right.
not just.
Right. So I was just wondering who the people are, so I can plug in, chug.
And then, unfortunately, we're volunteers. Like, I don't, some of the people that have done design said they're not going to do it anymore. Like, when it comes time to do a redesign, we're going to find designers. That's part of the process.
But this isn't a redesign.
I think.
We should take your feedback.
Yeah, I think
we should take your
if you're just
feedback.
adding content, it should be.
We're still setting the agenda.
It should be easy to just add like a little module somewhere. But I don't know, like as far as like you type the whole thing up.
Well, yeah, but I mean it's very short. It's basically, but it is a design issue, and I wanted to discuss it here, and then maybe we can implement it on Sunday or something if we all agree. And then on Sunday I'll go down to Noise Bridge, and then that one guy then can fix the guy who I was sitting to last time. I'm sorry, I really don't remember his name. Jahan, yes. So Jahan, and he'll be there, and then maybe we can be like, okay, well that's what was decided on the web meeting, and so let's implement it.
So, do we have time? Can we put this at the top of the agenda and talk about it first?
We have a lot of bugs. Like, we have the caching bug is really serious.
I think she wants to do it. I mean, I'm fine with. You're just here for 10 more minutes, right?
Exactly. There's a 10-minute limit on this. I just want to throw the idea out there.
I don't see how we would come up with something functional.
I'm not committing that we're going to redesign the website on Sunday. I think
Right.
what we really need
Well,
to
I
do
wanna
is
just-
support Jade 20 stuff, but yeah.
Sure, but I just want to throw the idea out there.
Okay, so you're basically suggesting some copy changes.
Right.
So you want to just change the text of how we describe Occupy?
So,
Getting involved.
is that what we're talking about?
Well, this is what's written down here.
Right, so-
Can we talk 10 minutes of this?
Well, can we set the agenda?
Yeah, and then we finish setting the agenda. Right. That's
Is there anything else on the agenda?
Can you read off what we're talking about again? I got distracted.
J20 support, user caching bug, WordPress update, usability survey, and I don't consider this design, I think this is content update.
Well, she was also talking about rearranging the menus, which is something I wanted to talk about on Sunday too.
Update, we'll put those as separate things.
Yeah, those are two separate
menu redesign. Okay, so do we have time to talk about either content update? I mean, you don't have a menu redesign.
Rachel? Punk Boy says hi. He'll see you in DC.
Sorry to interrupt your meeting, but does anyone want some of these to hand out?
Yeah, I use some. I don't need that many though.
Craig!
Hi.
Do you have some in Spanish?
I just gave away all the Spanish ones to Rachel and Susan.
I can give you the Spanish.
Anyone else? Just hand them out at a cafe or
companies
something.
to go after. Oh, okay, great. Is there more of these?
Very nice.
Does anyone know if there are more of these?
I have one extra one.
Oh, thank you. Thank you, Rachel. Okay, great.
Would you do these?
Copies between now and then as well.
Cool, yeah.
Okay, so the education section in the blog. Anything else? Yeah? That's a really long agenda. Okay. We start with content update. So
With a 10-minute limit.
Sure. So here, why don't you just
Okay, so I'll explain what I'm
at
proposing.
a high level, just key
Yeah.
specific changes.
It's 6:57 right now.
Okay.
Okay, so at a very high level, the thing is right now on the menu, we have home, about, get involved. Those three things on the menu. What I propose is that we take off home, about, and get involved and make it all be home. And then there's, on the home right now, it's a blog roll. And so what I was thinking is that when you come to the home section, you first see a static thing, and then under the static thing, the top post from the blog roll, and then next to that in the menu will be just news, which will be the blog roll. So that when somebody comes to this
Sorry,
site,
can you explain what you said again?
Yeah.
Different words.
I'll draw it out.
She wants static. The one issue with that, Jane, is that GA told us that we needed to make sure that our urgent updates and our posts were at the top, especially, that's why we designed the website, is GA told us to do that.
Okay, so then this is what can be done. So if you do, so thanks for telling us. So then you have home, right? Then you have news, and then you have, the other stuff like working group. I don't know. I think forums should eventually be there once it's done. Whatever. GA. Exactly. But see.
Someone asked us to put direct action.
Sure.
I'll see this.
Sure, whatever. So GA, whatever. So the home and the news would replace what is now home, about, and get involved. Home, about, get involved.
I mean, we could
Okay?
change get involved. There is sort of a user expectation for about standard.
Right.
Put it about.
Well, so the thing with the about is that it would be in the home.
Well, I'm just talking about as far as standards of web design and what's typically done, and so what people tend to expect when they go to site.
Sure, we can do a history or an about that's kind of long.
I mean, the thing is, people look for the word about.
Sure. The about now, it needs a lot of copy work, and so we can maybe change that, and I can work on that. Right. So
that's
what
on the other side of the page, right?
Right. So no. So that's not what's on the other. What's on the other side of this page is what would go in the home page. So when someone comes to the website, so they see the menu, and then they see the most important action. Fine, that can even go at the top, right? Which will be the top post or whatever is the post that's on the news. The blog roll that we have now from scrolling down would be the next button over, but the top thing from the blog roll, that most urgent thing, will be linked. Will be in the first post in the home page. So the most urgent is still up there, right, and at the top. But it's just one, and that will keep rotating because the brand newest post will always be there. But then on the bottom of it will be the copy that I've written here. And that copy is, about OccupySF. It's very short and sweet, and it just says, Occupy San Francisco began on September 17th, the same day as Occupy Wall Street, in order to protest a broken economic system. Despite huge... Right, it's shortened. Despite huge efforts undertaken by the city of San Francisco to eradicate the Occupy movement, OccupySF maintains a presence in front of the Federal Reserve Building at 101 Market Street in the financial district of San Francisco.
So if you want to change the content, because right now the content on the front page is contributed by a bunch of people, if you want to change it to be something static, I do think that we should maybe seek broader approval.
Sure, I just want to... explain the
and
idea.
This is pretty much the text that we already have in the About page.
No, the About page has a lot of text. I took it down to exactly just a very short and sweet, just so that when people come to the front page, they get it. Okay, you're Occupy, you're a one-on-one market, and then on that same front page, you have Get Involved right underneath, and then you say there are many ways to get involved with OccupySF, and then you bullet point with perhaps pretty graphics, and then it's participate in direct actions planned by OccupySF with an upcoming actions link from the front. That's important. And then participate in organizational efforts by attending a working group or action council meeting, which both will be linked. Come to General Assembly, which will be linked. Then sign up to receive weekly OccupySF newsletter from the Welcoming Committee, again linked. And then donate stuff or money. Well, stuff can be money or in kind or whatever. Linked. And then follow us on Twitter, Facebook, or other social media, and then those could be those same buttons that you have there already. And then also the calendar. And so then it's very short and sweet, so that when the first page that they see is that one most important action, plus, really short what OccupySF is, and then get involved right there.
I think are we under some kind of directive about putting media on the front page, or is that just something that's
It's not being, well, right now
our directive was from GA is that we have to put direct action, the urgent, the police raids have to be on the front page, communications has to be on the front page. One of the issues, media doesn't have to be on the front page, it just makes sense that it's on the front page.
because they're making most content.
Also, the get involved could also technically be the site.
Hold on, I'm sorry, were you done answering my question now?
Yeah, that's what we have to provide. We don't have any, so one of the things I do want to tell you here is I think that this content that you've created is good. I think that these ways to tell people how to get involved are good, and what I would suggest is maybe we can agree to take this content and work on improving the Get Involved page. The other people who are stakeholders are Peter. Sorry, Peter.
Oh, Peter. Okay, I'll talk to him.
Other people who want to create better content on the About page. They want more content and more content in this page. So I think what you're saying is actually exactly the opposite of what other people are saying, which is we actually have to have more robust content, both in the About and the Get Involved.
Right. What I'm talking about is not about the more robust of the About and Get Involved. What I'm talking about is having something static and short and sweet on the front when people get there.
Okay. So I think
does that make sense? So that when you
the
way that the developed design we have now is pretty. Oh yeah. Sorry.
I want to understand why short and sweet is good.
So the reason that I think that we need something, because why do people, it's from the user's perspective, why do they go to the website? They want to plug in. Right now, when you go to the website, you see, it's a blog roll, and it's a little, you have to scroll a lot to get in. So I want to make sure that it's in their face right there on the front page. If they just look at the front page, not clicking anywhere else, they see all the ways to plug in, and just it's not that, I'm not saying that we need to cut out all content. In fact, having more content on the rest of the page is great. It's just what happens the first time you log in and log on.
So I know that people do that. They go to it the first time and they think, what are you? If they want to hear straight from us, they want to have content about it. I think what you wrote is what's there now is great. I just think it might not be enough, because before you plug in, don't you have to know if this is something you want to plug into?
Sure. So then the About portion, you can also keep it, and then but write good copy, and that's fine. Okay. But it also needs to be on the front.
So there's also some principles of web design. DRY, are you familiar with that, or KISS? So
No.
DRY is don't repeat yourself. It's if you read books on web design, it's a major concept that when you have a nugget of information like a topic such as about OccupySF or how to get involved, that the path to reaching that content's going to exist once. So if I'm going to click on get involved or go to the front page, as a user, it's better usability if you see the same content. And so the feedback that we're getting from you is very different from feedback that's telling us this content needs to be more fleshed out. It needs to be more complete. We want to know our story. And we don't want to have a get involved page that has fleshed out content and then something on the front that has a shorter and somewhat different version of that content, because it contradicts the don't repeat yourself rule, which is fundamental in a lot of website design. I'm not making this up, you can Google it. KISS is the same thing, keep it simple.
Sure.
So that's one of the things. I think that this is I totally think that people, if you and Peter and people want to look at the copy and work on creating better copy for getting people involved, and let's talk about the design issue separately from the content issue, because the menu bars and putting things on the front page.
But I think that they're very interrelated in the sense that the user goes there to get a certain content that if it's by the don't repeat yourself rule, then we don't have to. That's why I said you can just get rid of the get involved tab
I think
and have it
having
all.
a terse statement that kind of summarizes things would be beneficial, in that it kind of reinforces the fleshed out. I'm not saying exactly how to put that on the website, but I do think that is a good idea. I just don't know how to write that in.
We've been on this for 10 minutes.
No. Okay. So I just wanted to get people thinking about maybe a static portion of the front page, so that it's easy to get there. And then also the Welcoming Committee has a newsletter which we can plug in, and I will send you that, and maybe you guys can put that on the Get Involved Now. But in general, that's just my 2 cents. It doesn't need to.
I want to give you another update. Jean deleted the sign up for
Okay,
text
great.
alerts.
Because I was like, what the hell is this for? Do you see it?
The
No,
text alert system is apparently broken.
Oh, really?
So
Do we still
Jean
have the
deleted
database of all the
it.
numbers?
I don't know anything. All I know is Jean removed this from the Get Involved page.
Fantastic. That's great, because it made no sense to me.
I personally would like you to volunteer to help edit. If you want to help edit the Get Involved page, or we can take this.
Honestly, Jane told me she was going to add a copy like 3 weeks ago.
Right. Do you want? So who does the copy for?
Well, you were going to edit it and send it, and then
right, but there was a lot of really. The reason I didn't send it is because there's a lot of really complicated ways to do it. Like you said, to put it in a text file, and I was confused, and I just write in Word. So I will.
The thing is, you can't compose text to live in Word because Word interjects all these other characters.
Right, I understand.
Why don't we just?
But I will.
Is this it? Content.
Well, this is what the proposal I had to do with just a static thing. This was proposed content that might go on the front page, but in the very least, the Get Involved page could be this. But I wasn't trying to. These aren't pages. These were like.
Okay, I understand that. I'm just saying, do you want to contribute this right now, and do you want this is what you're contributing? You put it on the Get Involved page. I know you're not going to be happy, but I'm saying thank you. If you want this on the Get Involved page, put it in.
Yeah, because the Get Involved page needs to be like. So I was wondering if there's ever a time when there is like a design person or somebody who can mess with that stuff, and then maybe we can sit together and then like be like, oh no, like let's make it this way, or let's do that, or whatever.
We're trying not to do a lot of redesign, but when we did do design work, we had a design committee, they had design meetings, and they had deliverables to us, which were Photoshop mock-ups of the thing, and then that's how it worked. So it was usually a few people sitting around.
Can I have a suggestion? I think the way one day that I sat down with you for a couple hours, it was really good. And I think we're so many people, and honestly, if it's my way, his way, everybody will have their own design in their mind. I think that's why the team exists, to do it. I propose that working groups talk about it, see the website, see how they vision, and send suggestions. Like what I did in the Spanish website with you that night, and then have the suggestions yours, check, and do the best that it's gonna make everybody easier to navigate, and how they check it, because otherwise it's gonna be. I have a lot of designs for the Spanish also, but I know the team needs to take my proposal is to talk to the working groups, and every working group check it and do their own suggestions.
I think that makes sense. I think we should go to the next topic.
Okay, well,
And just tying into this topic, because we were talking about use of feedback, is Sarah Page has volunteered to do a survey, to write a survey. She's not on our team, first of all, so it's not like the web working group is actually designing the user feedback survey, which I think is good.
Yeah, it's actually
And the other thing is it's going to be a link. So we're not going to do one of those auto loads, like, you know, usually on a real website you force people to like, hey, do you want to participate in a survey? No, I hate you, Microsoft. We're not going to do that. It will just be like a static link to some outside agency, kind of web app thing. And then the goal of it is to ask questions to the existing users of the website, get some feedback from them, and find out who they are. So you can roll that into like user audience analysis and user stories. So that's something that we're she's going to do, and I thought she was going to come here, but maybe at some other point in time she needs an update about what she's thinking.
You can email with her always.
so should I leave this with you, the
Sure.
get involved thing?
Yeah.
And then I have a link, and I'll email into the web group for the welcoming committee.
Okay.
Where to sign up, because we make a newsletter every week, so might as well go to more people, right?
That looks good.
Cool.
Thanks.
And
So-
is there a meeting on? Sorry, is there a meeting on Sunday?
No, not that I know of.
No. Okay.
So the next thing about the user survey on the website is also, do we need to like give her some information about what we want her asked? I mean, I don't know. Part of me thinks that she should be independent. Part of me does want to know who the users are, like their level of involvement in Occupy. I don't know. Should we just let it be totally? She goes off and designs
Does she
it.
want input from us? Did she ask for that?
No.
Ask her if she's interested in it.
Does anybody want to be involved in the survey?
You know, she's super into the forums, and that's like a big actually problem stuff for us. It's getting those.
What do you mean be involved?
Well, like right now, what she's going to do, she's going to write a survey, and she's going to design it, and then you're going to put a link to it. So sometimes when you're designing a survey, like ahead of time, you might, for instance, come up with, this is the information we want you to gather for us from the survey. Like, we want you to ask people, how active are you in Occupy, or how many times a week do you come to our website? So like, do we want to feed some questions to her, or do we just let it be totally hands off and go, okay, Sarah can go do it, and then, I don't know. I mean, I personally am fine with letting Sarah go do it, but I think that other people at Occupy might want to also input into what Sarah's doing. I don't know.
I mean, if she's interested in the forums, I'd like to.
You want to get involved too? Okay. Okay, so maybe we can put you guys up on email, and you guys can talk to her, and then
I have her email.
do you have her email?
Sarah Page.
Yeah. Okay, Jane left, but user caching bug.
ABO also went looking for it, and I checked it out a couple days ago when I was emailing with Amy, and it happened for me too on Chrome when I was in London. So Amy identified a specific page.
So there's a bug right now on some people when they go to the website, they don't get the most up-to-date version because we have like a caching software running, so that we have 5,000 people or 4,000 people a day hitting the server. We don't want to have to create 4,000 pages at a time, so this caching is some people, I don't know.
And it was
I think
like,
it depends
what was
on.
the message that I saw about the htaccess file?
I didn't see your message, but I googled it, and htaccess file for WordPress looks at lots of things. Like, are you on a BlackBerry? Are you on an Android? Are you on Chrome? What version are you on? Like, there's so many factors as to when that decides whether or not it needs to create like a fresh version of the page. So somebody has to look at the htaccess file and figure out what's wrong with it, or something. We can't turn it off because we have like thousands of users.
Yeah. No, when I went and when I saw that bug the other day, it was the direct action page, and it was like December 12th. So the caches.
Yeah.
I mean, when Jane's put her in Clubhouse, it's only a couple days old. I seen her, and it was clear.
I've been deleting hash on all the pages.
Yeah.
Myself.
Can we just write a script to do that? It's a hack, but
sometimes when I go to the website, I get it sort of looks the same, but it says invalid or invalid site, something like that.
Certificate.
Yes.
Oh, it has that little pop-up thing.
Oh yeah, that pop-up.
So that happens because our users have a secure connection to the server, and so it's just for people that are logging in. And what it is that, so the way that secure certification works is actually kind of a scam, and there's a small number of companies that are like allowed to give the certification out, and they charge a lot of money. And so we have what's called a self-signed certification. And so it's a red flag in the browsers because the people who make most of the browsers are kind of.
So
if we paid money to
it's not
a
a bad
company,
thing. It's not a bad thing.
to get that error message to go away, we have to pay money to a private company to say we are OccupySF. Please, I mean that's basically how that is working. So we're trusted. We are the OccupySF people. This is our website. If we took that message off and your data back and forth from the website wouldn't be encrypted. So that's why we have it on, because we want encryption. We don't want it to be unencrypted. We just don't really want to pay. I don't know. If somebody wants to donate like hundreds of dollars, we'll take your money and buy a certificate.
I think media probably needs a $100.
Yeah, media. Yeah, people need better stuff than.
I mean, it's only for people who are logging in. It's not for general users, unless they've made an account.
That is an upgrade we could use, though, right? Hundreds of dollars. Ask them.
I guess if they wanted to participate.
Somebody pay for our.
Oh yeah.
We need some more servers.
So subscriber accounts are also encrypted, right?
Yeah, all the accounts are encrypted.
So anyone who makes an account and is an active on the site.
Yeah, anytime that someone logs in, they're getting encrypted. WordPress update. So our WordPress is telling us it's out of date and we have to update it. So we are actually talking today just about we want to schedule it ahead of time. I don't think that the server has to go down, but we don't want to like unscheduled upgrades. So we're going to have to figure out when to do this upgrade and go to the next version of WordPress. And on our team side, it just means we need some people for QA, and we need like people like Alcides and Christian around in case stuff goes terribly wrong. But
do we want to try to do it before J20 or after?
What do you think?
Is it like a security update? Is it?
I think there's 8 updates.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I think some of them are smaller.
You might want to. I mean, just because we're kind of high profile, so.
I'm kind of concerned about breaking stuff too at the same time, but I don't know.
Well, can we always roll back, right?
Yeah, we can roll back.
If we do it at a low traffic time,
we can't do it during the week of the 17th. We have to do it before the 17th for sure. And ideally, it's not a lot of time.
I mean, it's that makes me
I have a question about WordPress. Actually, that's what actually I came here.
Yeah.
Because it's taking so long sometimes to log in. It gives me the 404 error that I told you last time. 404 several times. And then when I finally log in, I'm editing. I'm trying to post something, and I'm editing, and it disappears. Like. And then I go back, and then it disappears again, and then comes back the 404 error, half of the screen.
It's really weird.
Yeah, so
is it slow problem? Does it feel like the server's slow?
I don't know.
Sometimes I feel like the server's slow.
That's why I'm wondering if there is a faster way to log in.
Well, I'm wondering, like, the 404, one way that could be happening is because I know at one point, does that only happen on your computer? If you try to do, have you seen it happen on another computer besides
I try my laptop and my home.
Okay. Because one thing that, if you're typing, like I saw someone type wp.admin instead of wp-admin, so if you type the wrong URL, like that's happened to me.
I don't think she accesses the site that way though.
The dashboard?
No, I do the way.
Yeah.
She
just clicks in through and logs in. Yeah.
But maybe because I will probably need to show you with my laptop.
Okay. I wonder if it has a caching similar to this
just don't know why it would give her a 404.
Okay. I think we need to see it. Maybe we have to have it start
Yeah,
with
next. Yeah, I will have to go show it.
No, thank you for telling us. It's like, until someone says what's broken, we can't know.
Yeah, and it takes so long to, sometimes I already finish editing flyer or something and boom, disappears. Now what
Have you ever tried saving draft?
That's what I'm doing that now.
Yeah, okay.
Oh. Oh, that happens to me too. Okay. So WordPress is really weird. Like if you don't save the draft and you do a preview and then you come back and you don't save the draft and you go somewhere else, it doesn't save your stuff.
Yeah, but that doesn't give you a 404. I mean,
No, it doesn't give you 404. Yeah.
But that may be also one problem.
Yeah, you have
Maybe,
to-
okay, I will solve half of it.
You'd have to press save draft
Yeah,
before
I'll
you
do that.
leave a page. Okay, so what else do we have on the agenda? We have J20 support. Is there anything that we know that's still open about the J20
They were
support?
asking about embedding stuff. Peter Mancini sent me an embed code that he was planning on using, and I tested it and it worked. So they know how to embed on our site. That's all I know is what they needed.
Anyone here from Direct Actions? Okay. All right. Education section.
That's something that I'm doing. Because a lot of people were giving me feedback that there wasn't a lot of educational or background information on the site. I'm just putting together more stuff like that.
Okay.
Just more educational stuff. So if anyone's interested in looking at that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Blog?
Yeah, like the NDA wasn't even on there. I mean, it's still not. There's like a link.
What could go into educational stuff?
Well, so for example, around the turn of the year, right, the National Defense Authorization Act is going on, right? And that's really tied into Occupy. They're super related. And there was nothing on our site about it because we're not doing the actions about it, And it's like, well, we could at least have a little information there, But there's not really a place to put it. And so I'm just kind of gonna be working to create a space for putting stuff like that. That's not necessarily tied to a working group.
I would like to put in something onto our website. Sorry, I just threw this off the top of my head.
Okay.
I would like to do some kind of statement on our website on the 17th when Occupy Congress is happening to say that we are in support of the SOPA blackouts that are going to happen on the internet that day. So I don't know if you guys are aware of the SOPA blackouts. A lot of websites are turning their pages black. And I think that obviously we can't do that. It's going to be a high traffic day on the 17th.
Yeah, right.
But I think most of us don't support SOPA, and I think we should be in solidarity with that. It could just be a web team post, something like that.
There might be some SOPA graphics, like some stock SOPA graphics that we could put in the sidebar or something like that.
SOPA.
Stop Online Piracy Act.
It's like basically pay to play on the internet. Like internet, the way it's been built so far has been very open, and they're gonna basically make it pay to play, so you basically don't want corporations controlling your access to information in the way that they want to change the way the internet is going to be structured. I guess that's the way of saying it.
Can I go back to education?
Yeah.
In media, we're trying to kind of re-educate people coming because everybody thinks that media is only videos. It's like only video people show up. And we lost many people already. We lost from the original. It's only me now because everybody's like, no, this is not video. This is only video. So we're trying to do something different. So for the education stuff, it would have been worth it if we asked at the assemblies whoever wants to write and give them like some themes like national defense, immigration, kids for adoption, and submit it to media, and then we will like update it or check it numbers. I'm already a broadcaster. I do news twice a day and analysis, so I can check facts and stuff to put it in. So
sounds great. I have heard some feedback too about, I think people do want to see rich content, like written content, and that's an issue in terms of like a generation. Older people like, well, I want to read, I don't want to watch video, and I think that some other feedback that I got from people is they wanted our front page to look more like a newspaper, and I said, well, the problem with that is that we don't have articles.
yeah.
We have announcements, but we don't really have articles that people can read. So like any way we can help kind of bring writers in.
Okay,
I
we
think the
can
writers and
announce it
publications.
immediately tomorrow and start collecting. We have a lot, but it's something. But now that you're gonna have that, I
There's the
think
one guy with the newspaper.
chance. Yeah.
Chance.
Yeah.
Well, that's why we need to
I mean,
collect.
one of the
Might be a
reasons
source
that I
of
was
content.
thinking about the education section
Just
was
out of
something like
curiosity, how
Nikki
much
was
longer
talking
my
about,
battery's
like a
gonna
month or two ago.
try to get
Of just wanting to have like background information. You know, it's like
Okay.
if they're you know, I mean, they're making videos, but if they're making videos and then like, you know, they want to actually say something about, you know, like the facts,
Yeah,
you know,
exactly.
that has like sort of
Yeah.
a place to be coming from.
That's why many people left, but we're trying to rescue that, and I'm glad that you're gonna have the educational stuff, so we can talk about it tomorrow, I guess, and we'll start
I
now,
don't know about the
or
tomorrow. I think you said
okay.
yesterday was really hard.
When you come back,
Yeah.
then we start just doing that. In the meantime, I will start posting the national defense.
Yeah. I mean, so one of the reasons we don't have a ton of written content is because people were asking that it be really neutral, and a lot of people didn't have confidence that they could be neutral.
Yeah,
enough.
exactly.
And I know, like
factual
someone like
stuff.
Chance, for example, like I think he would prefer to not stay neutral when he's writing. And so the other thing that I wanted to talk about was the blog, which I think is a space where people can be less neutral, because that's a whole
Exactly,
separate
yeah.
site that is going to be sort of like more opinionated content.
Yeah.
So
Maybe in media we can develop something like read it and see how factual it is.
Yeah.
And if it's really controversial, we can bring it back and discuss it more in a team or something.
Or it could go on the blog, you know.
Or can go on the blog.
Or if it's like, you know, solid.
But we need something there,
Yeah.
more educational.
Yeah, I would agree.
What does neutral mean in this context?
Well, I was just going on what Peter and Kiwan and everyone was saying, which is what about them, which was just factual and reportage and not opinion or suggestion. Just very, you know, like not making any declarations that we can have a problem with. Because there's, you know, unless we consent to say something, we can't really say it as Occupy. So, like, the posts that Peter and Kiwan are making are all, like, either things that have been consented or basically, like, news articles. Here's what happened yesterday. There were 12 cops, and they arrested 3 people. And they took them to jail, you know? But not, like, I think the cops are jerks.
Exactly.
But there are things that we do all agree on. I mean,
Well, and
so what?
where is the line? I don't know. I mean, the thing is, it's like this is where it gets hard. This
Right.
job, you know. 'Cause it's like
When you read it, you will know it. When you read something, you will know.
That's the definition of pornography,
Yeah.
right?
Well, so when you say you've had feedback about rich content, and Kiwan and Peter say feedback, where does that feedback come from, and how much of it is there?
Well, Peter is communications, because I'm also part of communications. I mean, we're
He
a
gets
child group
emails?
of communications. So he was acting under GA directive, I believe.
Yeah, he was.
You know, that what's on the website be neutral and reflect either decisions that we've made or factual information.
The thing that we did do is that we basically said that if you're posting content to the web, and communications doesn't do this, but for, you know, a lot of the other teams, like you guys do it, is that we use our names when we post. We really don't want people to like get up on our website and be like, this is OccupySF said this. So we post as ourselves. You post as yourself. I post as myself. Post as herself. Communications always posts as communications. So they put up press releases, like what they say is, I guess, the official word of OccupySF, but what the rest of us post is not. What I post is just, it's got my name in it. I don't think any other working groups are working like that. I think everyone else is putting their names.
Yes.
And I think that works really well. The other thing that's really good is accountability. I really don't want to go on a website and not know who wrote something. That would drive me crazy, especially if someone writes something crazy. You kind of want to know who wrote it. And that's something that
Well, that's part of why a big part of my work right now is just encouraging the working groups to feel comfortable using the site. You know, because I post stuff for people all the time, and it's like, well then, like for example, I posted something for David Solnit, and his information was wrong, you know?
Yeah.
And so then people post comments. I mean, this is how much traffic we get, right? Is he had some obscure date wrong, and there's 3 comments in an hour of like, hey, David, this is wrong, you know? Like, they didn't write David because I posted it. So I get the, like, whenever you post something and someone comments on it, you get an email, right? So then I was getting the emails, and so then I had to go in and update it, you know? And then it's like, well, now I'm the asshole doing the job just to get fired.
Is Sarah working on Bright Ideas? Is that the platform? Do you know?
I don't know what that is.
Is it? That might be a good way to filter like what we should cover. Like it's basically like a popularity contest of ideas. You know, people throw their ideas up and then kind of just decide, and the good stuff floats to the top, and then you figure out what it is. Maybe that'd be a good platform to run like articles, like ideas for articles, and just see what since it's kind of a gray area, that'd be maybe a way to gauge it.
Yeah. I mean, part of it too is like, you know, there's like 50 people that can post to a website. So eventually what's on the website is what those people think is going to be on there. You know, like, I go through periodically and look at who's posting, you know, and at one point I gave like 20 people accounts, and I was like, hey, here's your account, go and post shit, you know. Most of them don't.
Where do you find that on the website?
So if you're on the dashboard, on the left-hand side, if you click on users, it shows you the users and it shows you what's posted. And it's really interesting, right? Because it's like Maria's posted more stuff than I have.
Yeah.
Yaz has posted more stuff than I have. David's posted 4 things. I'm sure someone else out of the working group isn't so bad. It's so bad. I posted some things for David too. Then of course Jenny posted all the old content from the old site, so she's got like
Maya, I guess Maya posts a lot in the and communications posts. But most of the time, most of the people that we've trained and have access to the website haven't written any posts. I think that's probably crazy, but that's normal.
Yeah. But it's like, yeah, in some ways we are kind of deciding what's on the website, but it's just because no one else is putting it.
I think people are also afraid to post the website because it's like, I don't know, it's scary, it's official.
Yeah. Especially you give your name. Now I'm wondering if you should sign up only like media, like communication.
Well, I mean, you can do that, and you could do something if you wanted to. Like, you could have 2 separate accounts, one for more official formal stuff. You can make a separate account for the civic movement Spanish representative. There were some people like Jane, right? She doesn't. That's not her real name. She's like trying to be secret because she has to go to grad school or something. So she made an account for herself, Jane Smith. You know, like. So you could decide to have a pseudonym.
We can talk later.
Yeah.
But if we end up with a lot of crazy pseudonyms, we still have to figure out who those people are. Someone posts crazy stuff.
Yeah, well,
but so far nobody's really posted crazy stuff. So
I'm actually not worried. I'm just okay.
It's all been good. I think that's it, you guys. We got to the end of the agenda.
Does anyone want to know how to send tweets from their phone?
Like as a text message?
As a text message. I know, it's a trap, right? It's alright. I already set up my phone for this. Guys. Cool. I feel like there's other stuff on the agenda. Last weekend I was trying to remember what else was on there.
Do you have the server gives you the most visited pages?
Oh, Ron was supposed to send us the analytics.
Because that's a good way to find out the most visited and
That's
coming
a great
in,
metric.
going out. Even for what she was saying, Jane, that we will know if people want to know who we are. If more
Well,
people
I mean,
visited
we have to
that.
have an about page. It's like web standards. It's like there's certain like phrases that have become standard, so that people know like what kind of information they're getting from it. And if you don't respect that, people tend to be really confused all the time. So like, I think about is one of those. Home, right? Like we can't have
home and about contact usually.
About home contact.
Yeah, those kind of things.
I guess we can ask Ron for analytics, and we could do a web post this week about how many people come to our site and if we know what the pages are.
Yeah, I mean, I've been telling people about our traffic stats, and they're exciting to hear. They're excited to hear them. We had definitely a fall off for the holidays, but now I'm also wondering if it was related to the super crash issue.
4,000 visits a day is a lot. Like usually,
are we averaging that right now?
I don't know if we're averaging right now, but right before holidays we were 4,000 visits. Like
Yeah,
average website.
It was like 1,500 last time.
Was it?
So if I hit it 5 or 10 times a day, does that count as 5 or 10? Or is that one?
We have unique visitor count, so we can tell if it's the same computer or different. Yeah.
Sometimes I do it from this, and sometimes I do it from my PC.
So that would probably be 2 visitors.
Okay.
Yeah, and like one of them is me.
Yeah, but nobody would be like 100.
Yeah, no, I was just curious if it was a unique visitor type. Okay.
Awesome, you guys. Thanks for coming to the web meeting.
So when are we
Thank you.
After the last GA I went to, I'm not supposed to go to GA anytime anymore.
And that was the website meeting for today, January 11th, 2012. So thank you for watching, and Occupy Liberty, signing out.